Good day to you, Internet, and in today's FAQ I want to talk to you a little bit about string bending. Now, this is a technique that when you first start doing it hurts like all hell. So there are a couple of techniques that I can give you to help take the sting out of this a little bit. Now, the first thing to do when you're bending is I see far too many people trying to do this, or this, or this, or God help them, even this. Right, if you're bending a string and you're new to it, you need to get as much muscle behind that finger doing the bend as possible. So for example, if you're bending the 15th fret on the B string, I'm fretting that note with my third finger, I'm using the second and first to help. Now, second thing is the thumb. I tend to find that having the thumb coming over the top of the neck gives you a little bit more control, gives you something to squeeze against. And I should also point out that as you start to bend, you're going to get a lot of kind of clonks and scronks and string noise and horrible sounds that will spoil the sound of your note. And there's a few things that you can do about this. For example, if I'm doing a bend like this on a Strat, I'm using my thumb not just as something to squeeze against, but I'm actually using it to mute there the D, A and E strings. There's extra leverage there. But you might notice that I was doing a little bit of this trick too, and there I'm using my first finger draped across these strings below in terms of pitch the string that I'm bending. So I'm bending the B, draping this finger over the G, D, A and E strings to help prevent them from sounding and reduce the string noise. You can also see me doing this a little bit with my pick hand as well. Now what I'm trying to do here is I'm using the back of my thumb on my pick hand to mute the notes on the bass side of the note that I'm bending. So bending the B string, muting the G, D, A and low E strings. And what I can do as well is use an unused finger on my pick hand, I'm going to use my third finger here, on the treble side. So what I'm doing there is I'm creating effectively a little protective bubble. Remember social bubbles? How much fun they were? For your string, because the strings around it can't move. And if they can't move, they can't vibrate. And if they can't vibrate, they can't make any noise. And you can still hear a little bit of handling noise, but it's much less than it would be otherwise. Second thing I want to talk about is pitching. When I first started teaching string bending, people would bend like this, and then they'd come back 2 weeks later and they'd be bending like this. And it took me a little while to figure out what was going on, and it turned out what happened was they were bending to a level of pain, because when you first do a whole tone bend like this, it hurts. Let's call that level of pain, let's call that 7. Right? But as you get better at it, as your fingers get a bit stronger, your grip gets better, you bring your thumb into it, it doesn't hurt anything like as much, it only hurts like a 2. So they would keep pushing until it hurt back to that 7 again, by which point they were massively past where they were trying to bend to. So here's a little exercise that you can do to help learn to pitch your bends. This is a thing called a unison bend. I'm going to play the note that I'm bending to. In this instance it's the E at the 12th fret high E string, and I'm going to push the 15th fret on the B string, which is a D note, up to match it like this. And you can hear there where the two notes start to match. And you go slowly up to the bend. You have a much easier time trying to pitch up to it. And that gives you a level then. That starts to give you a feel for how much force is required to do a whole tone bend. You can do it as well on the G and the B strings. Here I'm going to bend the 14th fret G, which is an A note, up to match the pitch of the 12th fret on the B, which is a B note. And there we go. So that will help massively. And you can do this with all sorts of bends. You can do it with a semitone bend. Here I'm bending an D up to an E flat. Or here I might go to Dave Gilmour and do like a half tone and a half bend. So D up to F. So I'll play the F. or hell, even F sharp. There we go, I cheat a little bit on that one. Okay, right, I'll end things here because string bending is quite a big topic and I could do an awful lot on it, but I want to keep this short. I hope you've enjoyed that. Do please remember to like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next time. All right, take care. Bye-bye.